Hey, how's it going, guys? If you're considering a move to the Philippines, it's very important that you weigh all your options. And that's the purpose of this video. I wanted to let everyone know my experiences after having been here for almost 5 months now. So make sure you consider everything before you pick up and move to the Philippines. A lot of people think that it's the great party life and that it's cheap and that there's a million things to do, things of that nature. So hopefully this video helps, and let's get right into it. Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Hey, I've been in the Philippines now for approximately 5 months, and what I wanted to offer you guys is my opinion on the environment, the cost of living, and things of that nature. I know that there's probably a lot of individuals from Europe, from the US that have retired, and you're looking for a good place to retire, and generally speaking, the Philippines comes up, South America comes up, Thailand, places such as that. What I wanted to do is just tell you my experiences in the Philippines in terms of getting a place to stay, getting your basic services, things of that nature. Now, there's a big misconception out there that it's super cheap to live in the Philippines. Is that true or false? Based on my experiences, it's absolutely false. A lot of people have told me, and I've read some things where it says, hey, you can live off of $300 to $500 per month and live like a king. That's absolutely false information. I'm not sure where people are getting this from. Let's talk about I'm just going to go from point to point. I'm not going to do this in any specific order. These are just my random thoughts. So if I go from one end of the spectrum to the other one, please forgive me. I have a lot of thoughts that I want to do in a short period of time. Let's talk about the environment and the people of the Philippines, and I'll give you a little bit of the history. Okay, basically, the basic history is that the U.S. as well as Spain once owned the Philippines, so there's a lot of influence here from those two countries. Also, the U.S. is the U.S. is the number one exporter of goods to the Philippines. Let's talk about the environment. Once you get to the Philippines, if you decide to come and live or whatever, the first thing you're going to notice is extreme poverty. The Philippines is one of the poorest countries in Asia, with 1/3 of the population living off of $1 a day. And a lot of people attribute that to different things. They say the government is corrupt, a lot of different factors. I'm not going to get into that, but so that you know, it's very, very poor country. Let's talk about the people. The people are genuinely hospitable towards foreigners. Now, that being said, every time you turn around, you're going to pay double and sometimes triple what a local individual from the Philippines would pay for your basic services, your house, internet, hospital. Keep that in mind. You are going to pay, bottom line. Any time that you go out and seek those services, you're going to pay a lot more than what a local individual would pay. Let's talk about, again, the cost of living. Like I said, I've been reading, and people have told me, hey, I can live off of $300 to $500 a month. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, let me give you a caveat to that. You can actually live in the slums of Manila, the capital, for $300 a month. That is an apartment, that is a furnished apartment, and that's it. That's how much your apartment will cost you. And that's infested with roaches, rats, bugs of all types. You can do it, absolutely, $300 a month. Up to, I say, $500 a month. In that condition, you'll be in the worst part of Manila, and you'll be subject to all those things that I've told you. and as well as crime, because you will be a target in those areas. Let's talk about the services here. The internet is pretty decent. I mean, you have the opportunity to get DSL and get, pretty good speed on your internet, but you're going to pay for it once again. But those prices are set, which means what they charge you is what the local people here are going to get charged. So that's not a bad thing. Cell phone is the same way. You pay for, what you get is what you pay for on a cell phone. It's a thousand different plans, and generally speaking, the service is pretty good. It can be spotty at times, but no, it's generally good. Let's talk about the hospitals. Hospitals are simply not the same standard as they are in Europe and in the U.S. It's absolutely different in terms of hygiene, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of how they treat individuals. All that is totally different. Get ready for a different world. It won't be on the same level. And in fact, it can put you at risk at some of these places, at some of the hospitals here. So you have to be careful where you go if you do come to the Philippines to get medical treatments and whatnot. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Those are some of the, I wouldn't say bad points, but just some of the stuff that I've noticed. Let's talk about some really good things about the Philippines. One is you got access to 7,200 different islands. That means you could be on the beach all the time. The downside of that is when you go to the beach, people are going to be begging you constantly to buy things, begging for food, things of this nature. But you do have a lot of good beaches. Next good thing that I've found is that you can buy cheap things here. Now, of course, they're not going to be real, but you can buy pretty cheap things here. And I'll leave it at that. The third good thing about the Philippines is the crime rate is very, very low. It's almost non-existent, but it depends on where you stay at. If you live in the area that I live in, there's almost no crime. But if you go to the slums of Manila, then of course the crime rate kind of goes high. Another caveat to that is in some parts of the country there are Muslim extremists. So that part, you totally are told to stay away from that if you are an expat. So guys, that's a little bit about the Philippines. I hope that it helps someone that's thinking about moving here, that's thinking about retiring here. Hopefully this is good information that helps you make a informed decision about the Philippines. One last quick point I wanted to make. If you do want to retire here and become, I guess, what they consider a resident, then you have to deposit quite a large chunk of money into a bank account here. Then they give you the full residency status. So that's just a good tidbit to know. I probably will go ahead and leave you some links that tells you more about the Philippines. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. It's been my pleasure. Hope this helps.